Hey all, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of a wired lightning-based keyboard for Apple devices. Now it's 2019 and you're probably thinking, well, why can't I just use a Bluetooth keyboard? They're more common and probably compatible with more devices. Well, there are a few reasons. To begin with, if you have an Apple device that you've accidentally broken, maybe the display is cracked because you dropped your phone, and you realize, well, to sync up my data to my computer, I still need to access a password or use Touch ID. And sometimes, again, the screen itself isn't responsive and there's just no way of pairing it from the lock screen to a Bluetooth keyboard. Then plugging in a wired keyboard can still at least allow you to type in, let's say, the password to unlock your phone and access your information. More than that, a wired keyboard, again, doesn't use Bluetooth, so it drains power a bit more slowly, and furthermore, it can be used, let's say, on an airplane without any interference, and technically should have better latency. You should be able to type faster without seeing lag on the device. So again, there are a few reasons here and there. The downside would be this keyboard is obviously only going to be compatible with Apple devices since it uses that proprietary connector. This version here is actually the cheapest model that you can find online. I looked through many brands, and again, it's the lowest cost Lightning wired keyboard for iOS devices that's supported officially with MFI certification. It's a full-size layout as well, and also includes a kickstand that you can use to pop up your tablet or your phone for easier comfort when you're working in a desk. It sells for only $10, so it's also quite affordable. And as far as compatibility is concerned, I tried it out with the latest iOS version 12, and it seems to be still working on iPhones and iPads. So in the box, we have a quick user's guide. It's called the iKeyTII. It's simply plug and play, so again, you don't have to go into settings and tamper around with any of the connectivity options. Here's the aforementioned free kickstand, and we have a logo that says fold inward. The aesthetic here is, again, pretty similar to Apple's other products. It's made out of a white polycarbonate plastic. We can unhinge it and it simply opens up all the way, which allows us to pop our tablet in like so. First impressions, it is just made out of plastic. It has pretty sharp corners and edges, but overall looks quite clean. And it's not quite an island style layout, but they're trying to imitate it with the keys. So a pretty conventional layout. There is no dedicated numpad, which means it's still relatively compact and portable. The most interesting thing is because it's meant for iOS products, which are mobile devices, it doesn't have all of the keys taken up. You can see some of the blank spaces on the keyboard. On the back here, we see it has a taper as far as the shape is concerned, so it's slightly ergonomic, pointing upwards with a slope, and there's also 2 feet that you can pop upwards if you want to type at an elevated angle, better for your wrist for long-term usage. We have the company's logo and just some basic specs printed on there. The side here also features an LED light that will glow blue when, let's say, your caps lock is turned on, and I'll show you that in a moment. The wire here for the lightning cable is about, I would say, 2 feet in terms of length, so the length itself is fine, but it's not detachable, so you aren't able to physically swap this out for, let's say, a regular USB cable to use it with a computer such as Mac OS or Windows. That's a bit of a shame. I do think that having a modular cable could have made this more convenient to use it with a wider range of devices. But overall, the construction feels good enough considering this is only $10. It feels rather solid. There's no creaking or kind of flexing of the plastic at all. It's very rigid. And yes, making your iPad into kind of a pseudo laptop is actually something that's more and more realistic, especially with the latest generation of the iPad Pros, which are just getting super close to being a convertible computer or tablet, Ultrabook. At least Apple wants you to think that way. So having a full-size keyboard to really quickly type out messages and emails is going to be quite valuable for many folks. So anyways, if we try and do a quick sample here, I'm going to plug the lightning port into this iPhone on the bottom, and immediately you'll see the light here blink blue once. That means it's indicated that it's recognized and plugged in. If I tap on the lock key here, it will automatically wake up the display. Now, right now I've turned off the password on this iPhone, so I can just tap on, let's say, the space key or the enter key to automatically enter into the home screen here. But if I had a password, I could also type that in numerically and it would still work. This phone is currently running on iOS version 12, so the latest edition for Apple, and it's still compatible and recognized just fine. Otherwise, in terms of the icons up above, so if we tap on the media controls, you can see it is fully functional there. If I tap on the mute, it will also work. Same thing goes with the search. If I tap on that, it will pull down the bar here where I can instantly type along letters to begin searching up an app or anything on the internet. And if I want to tap on the keyboard key here, it will also bring up the virtual keyboard for whatever reason if you want to access that. Now, this icon here is actually meant to be the home button. So if I go into any application, let's say into Maps, and I tap on this, it will take me back home. I can also access shortcuts like double tapping, for instance, to bring up multitasking, although the keys themselves are not backlit. So unlike a mechanical LED keyboard, you won't be able to really type super easily in the dark. We are in the Notes app right now, and a couple things I want to point out before diving into performance is to access these symbols, you can tap on, of course, Shift and the numbers here to have the ones printed on the keyboard pop up, such as the @ dollar sign, percent sign, things like that. It all works as expected. Now, you can also tap on the Option button and tap on the keys, even the letters down below here, and it brings up additional special symbols. These symbols, though, are not printed on the keyboard, so they require a little bit of experimentation to figure out what they will correspond to. So if I, again, tap on the Option key and tap on A, this is what it brings up. So a lot of these other special controls which you can access and perhaps look up the documentation for online, but it's not printed directly on the keycaps, something to point out. Otherwise, in terms of the typing performance, I find the depth of the keys themselves to be rather comfortable. It is a membrane-style keyboard, however, so if you're used to typing on, let's say, a mechanical keyboard with blue switches, it is not going to be as tactile or clicky, but compared to other typical membrane-style keyboards, I think it feels all right. You have, again, a decent amount of springiness to each of the keys. You don't have to press super hard, but there is a nice amount of responsiveness as well as you type along. So it's definitely a little bit faster than Bluetooth keyboards if you type super quickly. On Bluetooth keyboards, a lot of times if you are, again, typing over, let's say, 90 or 100 words per minute, it may occasionally drop out a few letters, which can be annoying. However, iOS does have autocorrect, so a lot of times it will detect misspelled words and try to correct it itself. I would say the sensation is even a little better than the butterfly switches that you may have on a MacBook, because those keys have such a shallow depth of travel. This actually feels a bit more springy, and it's also not going to be too loud or noisy as well, because again, it's just membrane keys as opposed to mechanical springs. And here's a quick real-time test. So overall, you can see accuracy works pretty well in conjunction with the autocorrect and the keyboard itself feeling just very natural and similar to other keyboards you may have already used before. And of course, you can type also on emails, basically any app that has a text entry box you can use it with, although again, the keyboard itself doesn't come with a mouse. So for interaction of specific points, you still need to tap on the display using your fingers. Something else the keyboard doesn't do is copy and paste. I tried using the Control-C, Control-V commands, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Ultimately, this is as close as you're going to get to a working environment using a mobile device with iOS. So anyways, guys, you can check out more details in the links below if you are interested, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That has been the iKey TL2, the wired lightning-based keyboard for iOS devices.